So, Darrell, as we close, what's one final piece of encouragement or advice you would leave with educators and instructional designers like myself who want to lead with greater purpose, confidence, and impact in their lives?
Very good question. And again, this can go across industries. People that have come back and talked to me about things that they've overcome, and they actually testify that this does work. It's not easy, but I'm telling you, it works. And that is get comfortable being uncomfortable. Again, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Most leadership growth happens when we are challenged or pushed out of our comfort zone. If you even look back over the years and look at all the areas where you really grew and those moments that you grew, I'm almost sure 90% of those times were situations where you did not want to be involved, you did not want to be a part of it, you didn't ask for it, it was thrown upon you. But
Right.
guess what? Being uncomfortable, you figured it out. I don't care how long it took you, I don't care how many people you had to go talk to, you found a way to get through that uncomfortableness. And what's good about that process is it forces you to utilize gifts and talents that are inside of you, but a lot of times they're just dormant, right, until they are truly needed. And most of the time, those skills come up during high pressure situations. A lot of people look back over the military and say, why did they call them in for this natural disaster? Or why did they call them in to do this? Are they really trained to do that? Sometimes they're not, but they trust their training, right? They trust their team, and they trust the fact that we're here to take care of others. So as long as that's our true north, it's got to be a better way of doing this, and we're going to figure that out because we're serving others instead of ourselves. And so a lot of times in the military, again, we get very comfortable being uncomfortable. A lot of people say, "Oh, that's easy for you. You're in the military." I don't care. Every time I have to speak, I still get uncomfortable. It's not an easy thing to do, but when you realize, hey, what I have to say is going to help this audience, then again, I take the reflection off of me and put it back on someone else.
That's great. I love that. Yeah, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I love that. Yeah, because so many of us today, and I think I used to think it this way too, Darrell, is that I thought I don't want to get myself into a weird situation or uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
situation. But it's true. If you're just comfortable all the time, that's not where you learn and grow, stretch yourself, right? So I think you learn through those hard situations or those uncomfortable situations where you're like, this is not the best feeling to have, but it passes, right? It's not something that is there forever. It's you get over that and get past that. So, and then you can look back on it and learn from it at the very end of that, right?
Absolutely. No, and if you think about it, those are the best stories that we tell because I don't care what conference you go to, what alumni gathering you go to, one of the first things you say is, remember that time when we had to come up with that new curriculum and they didn't give us a lot of time? How in the world did we do that? Like, those are the stories that come up immediately.
Right, exactly. I love that. Yes, and even earlier this summer, I was really busy working on a bunch of curriculum and some programs, and we went all the way through, worked on the program, and then the college was like, "Nope, we got to put this on hold for a little bit because it was a new type of program that we hadn't worked on before." And the Department of Education, we knew it was going to take time for them to approve it, so we had to halt it, put it on hold. At first I was like, that's a setback. Oh no. But then I thought, no, it'll work out in good time. And what's funny is that I just heard from the assistant dean earlier today in a meeting, and she's like, guess what? Since we don't have to have approval for Department of Education anymore, we can now get that program through. I'm like, great. So all that work that we did now, it's come to fruition. You just never know. Sometimes you can be in a really tough spot where you're like, oh, is that work going to really mean anything? But yeah, it ended up, helping us. Now we don't have to go and do that program, and we can just put it right through. So it's great.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's neat when you have those situations and you're like, okay, the work wasn't all in vain. It was well worth it for
Right.
sure. Definitely.